But a playoff push and buying at the deadline will only be realistic if the Rangers can put together a semblance of a turnaround and consistent play. The team has to give the front office a reason to spend increasingly scarce prospect resources as opposed to adding to them. 8 games under 500 where they currently stand won't cut it. Hello, Ranger fans. Welcome to the Talking Texas Rangers show. On tonight's episode, we dive into the latest headlines from around Globe Life Field. But before we do that, don't forget, give us a thumbs up if you like our video, hit that bell notification button to be notified of future videos, and don't forget to subscribe. And with that, we dive into today's first topic. The Rangers rookie Wyatt Langford has hit for the cycle, the first of 2024 MLB season. Langford is just the second rookie in franchise history to hit for the cycle. Texas Rangers rookie Wyatt Langford picked an excellent moment for the best night of his fledgling career, hitting for the cycle in an 11-2 win over the Baltimore Orioles. Langford, 22, got the most difficult part of the cycle out of the way early, hitting a triple to lead off the fourth inning. He followed that up with a double in the fifth, a single in the sixth, and in the eighth, he completed the cycle with a home run off the Orioles' Matt Crook. Sunday's performance was the first 4-hit game of his major league career. The home run was Langford's fourth of the season, to go with 9 doubles, 4 triples, 268 batting average, 712 OPS, and 245 plate appearances. He played in 58 games for the Rangers, missing 3 weeks in May with a hamstring injury. The last cycle hit in MLB was by the Houston Astros' Jose Altuve, who did so on August 29, 2023 versus the Boston Red Sox. Langford is the second rookie in Rangers franchise history to hit for the cycle, joining McDowell, who accomplished the feat in 1985. The last Rangers batter to record a single, double, triple, and home run in a game was Carlos Gomez in 2017. The cycle was the 10th in team history, with 2 of them hit by Hall of Famer Adrian Beltre. Jim King was the first to achieve the feat for the franchise in 1964 when the team was the Washington Senators. Langford was the Rangers' first-round pick in last year's MLB draft, selecting number 4 overall out of Florida. Playing through 4 levels of Texas minor league system last year, he made the opening day roster out of spring training. And now on to some more disappointing news. The leader of the Texas Rangers offense went down in a heap after a hit by pitch on Saturday. At this point, it starts to feel like the Texas Rangers made a deal with the devil to win the World Series last year. Sure, hoisting the trophy was great and expectations were high for 2024, but this season has been marked by significant regression and, more importantly, so many injuries that this Texas roster already looks like a shadow of its former self. Case in point is Cory Seager. Seager was one of the best hitters in all of baseball last year and might have made that AL MVP race even more interesting if he hadn't missed significant time to start the season. However, his 2024 did not get off to a banner start as he was recovering from hernia surgery. Then, Seager missed several games in early June with hamstring tightness, but he was back to mashing baseballs quick enough. On Saturday, the bad news continued, as an errant pitch up and in from the Orioles' Cade Povich in the 5th inning got Seager on his wrist, and he was immediately pulled from the game. This obviously did not look good. Taking 91 miles an hour off the wrist has to hurt regardless of the injury, but the severity of Seager's reaction, where he likely said some not-so-nice words, followed by the All-Star leaving immediately with a trainer, was not an ideal course of events. No lobbying to stay in, no testing his hand and wrist out first, straight to the clubhouse he went. As of this episode, there was no word on the exact nature of Seager's injury, but we'll keep you updated as information becomes available. This development was particularly unfortunate as Seager looked good to start the game. He got the Rangers on board early with a solo homer. The hope was that he could end June strong after struggling for much of the month with a 650 OPS. This is pretty much the last thing the Rangers needed at the moment. They're already having to work around injuries and rehab setbacks to multiple key players, as well as slumps from guys like Nathaniel Lowe and Adolis Garcia. Losing Seager not only could end any hope of a strong finish to the first half of the season, but could be the straw that breaks the camel's back might actually push Texas towards being sellers at the trade deadline. And now, on to our next topic. The Rangers season hangs in the balance with upcoming Young and Seager injury updates. Texas really needs some good news for a change on both Corey Seager and Josh Young. In what has become a familiar tale for the Texas Rangers this season, injuries continue to plague them. They have several key players who have been out for a while, and new issues or setbacks just keep popping up. When Corey Seager got hit in the wrist by the pitch over the weekend, many assumed the worst, given how bad the Rangers' luck with ailments has been. While a word after Seager's initial scans seemed to indicate that he avoided any major fractures, Texas fans will have to wait a bit longer, not only on his official status, but also an update on Josh Young, whose rehab is not going according to plan. Corey Seager and Josh Young's injury updates could make or break the Rangers' 2024 season. We'll start with Seager, as his situation is the easiest to explain. Yes, his first round of x-rays did come back negative, which was great news. However, Seager was also very sore the day after getting hit by the pitch, and now is going to undergo an MRI that will determine if those first x-rays missed something. It is extremely possible that there's some soft tissue damage to his hand and wrist, which the initial scans missed. It goes without saying that losing Seager for a lengthy period of time would be disastrous for Texas. As for Young, his injury situation is more complex. Young has been out since April after wrist surgery and was supposed to ramp up baseball activities this past week. However, inflammation in his surgically repaired wrist forced the Rangers to back off those plans. And now Young is going to see a specialist to see what is going on and determine if there is a larger issue plaguing him. While Young has been out longer than expected, it does kick the Josh Smith roster problem down the road for a bit longer. Everyone agrees that having a healthy Young in the lineup is something the Rangers desperately want and need. Texas was banking on him bouncing back healthy. Now his short-term future is very much in question. We will get answers as to what is going on with both Seager and Young very soon, and hopefully it will be good news for once. Hey, Texas Ranger fans, whether you're cheering from the stands at Globe Life Field or watching the game from home, there's no better way to show your team's spirit than with gear from Fanatics. As the ultimate sports apparel and fan gear store, Fanatics has everything you need to support our Rangers in style. From jerseys and hats to hoodies and accessories, Fanatics offers a huge selection of officially licensed Texas Rangers merchandise. Want to rep your favorite player? Grab a custom jersey with their name and number, or choose from a variety of player-specific gear. And with the latest designs and collections, you can stay ahead of the game with the freshest looks. But it doesn't stop there. Fanatics is dedicated to providing the best shopping experience with fast, hassle-free shipping and easy returns. Plus, their Fan Cash loyalty program lets you earn rewards on every purchase, so you can get more of the gear you love for less. So what are you waiting for? Use the link in the description today, load up on all the best Rangers gear, and show everyone you're a true fan. Let's go Rangers. Fanatics. Officially licensed everything. So the question is, at what point should the Rangers consider prioritizing 2025 at the trade deadline? The Texas Rangers are fresh off another frustrating road trip, dropping 6 out of 7 games. First, they went into Milwaukee, dropping all 3 against the NL Central leading Brewers. Then they went to Baltimore for a 4-game series against the Orioles, where they only captured 1. It was to avoid the sweep. They now head home to finish out the first half with a series against the Padres and Rays, before ending on the road against the Angels and Astros. The All-Star break will take place at Globe Life Field. Not long after that is the trade deadline. And if the Rangers anticipated a lack of presence at the All-Star game is any indicator, there could be a shift in trade deadline philosophy. Should the Rangers look toward building for next season? Or do they still think it's possible to make a real playoff push with a few additions right now? The Rangers are currently 38-46 after the road trip. They're third in the division, good for 8 games back of the first-place Mariners, and 8 games back of the Royals, who hold the final AL wildcard spot. That's a lot of ground to make up in just a few weeks. Looking at the 12 remaining games on the first half of the schedule, the most difficult series will be, for the break, is the 3 games in Houston. The Padres, Rays, and Angels are all winnable series leading up to that. They would have to go 10-2 over the final 12 games of the first half to get to the 500 mark, and 9-3 to sit only a couple of games under 500. If they can get within a couple of 500, within a couple of games of 500 with the help of Josh Young and Evan Carter returning soon, they'll have a chance to make a run with Jacob deGrom and Tyler Mahle coming back after the All-Star break. But a playoff push and buying at the deadline will only be realistic if the Rangers can put together a semblance of a turnaround and consistent play. The team has to give the front office a reason to spend increasingly scarce prospect resources as opposed to adding to them. 8 games under 500 where they currently stand won't cut it. And if it remains the same or gets worse, they should probably cut their losses. While it's still possible for the Rangers to get back into a position to contend and set themselves up as buyers at the deadline, they've yet to show us otherwise. And Cory Seager's injury obviously won't help the cause. Even worse, no team has ever captured a wildcard spot after sitting more than 3 games below 500 at the halfway point. The Rangers would be the first, as they were 7 games below 500 after game 81. In the event the Rangers do sell, it would be softly. They would ditch some expiring contracts of older players to help reload the farm, as well as free up some space to add younger pitching and another reliable bat or two in the offseason. This would be a good option looking toward the future, as the Rangers still have Seager and Semien under contract for the long haul, alongside one of the most anticipated young cores in the game. So let me know in the comments section below. Do you think the Rangers should start trading away for the upcoming season? Or do you think they can make the playoffs? Let us know. And now on to our next topic. Chris Young's comments have suggested that the Rangers could be eyeing an impactful trade deadline move. The Texas Rangers were swept by the Milwaukee Brewers and then got crushed against the Orioles. Texas is, like we mentioned, 8 games back of first place and 7 games back in the wildcard race. Lately, the offense has been struggling to a concerning degree, and general manager Chris Young made some key roster moves to shake things up. The Rangers called up outfielder Derek Hill from AAA, while optioning infielders Justin Foscue and Ezekiel Duran. Young commented on the moves, and based on what he said, Texas may be looking to shake things up even further with an impactful move or two at the deadline. Obviously, Young knows that the Rangers need to improve offensively in order to get back into contention. Texas has Adolis Garcia, Nathaniel Lowe, Cory Seager, Marcus Semien, and other stars in their lineup, which should make them a top offensive team. However, they've struggled, and Young clearly hopes the moves that he's made will help spark something. Still, this could mean that Texas is looking to upgrade offensively at the trade deadline. On the pitching side, Max Scherzer has made his return, and deGrom won't be too much longer as he eyes an August return. But the offense could use a boost. The team is 17th in runs scored in the major leagues. They're also 18th in batting average with a weak .237 mark. The market hasn't quite developed just yet, so it's unclear what upgrades the Rangers may seek to make at the deadline. Perhaps they could target somebody like Brent Rooker, or even look to reunite Garcia with his former teammate in Randy Arozarena. Young has made it clear that the status quo will not suffice as the Rangers continue to slip in the standings. Plenty of ground to be made up as the month of July approaches. We'll see if the Rangers can pull it together offensively. In the meantime, as fans await a deadline deal. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. What do you think should be done? And with that, we dive into our next topic, the Nathan Eovaldi situation. Extend, trade, or stand pat with Nathan Eovaldi. The Texas Rangers' 2024 tailspin was briefly halted yesterday when the Rangers stomped the Orioles by an 11-2 score, putting an end to a 6-game losing streak and allowing Texas to start their home series this week on a more positive note. Nonetheless, Texas is now 8 games back of the Mariners for first place in the American League West, 8 games out of the third wildcard spot, and increasingly looking like sellers at the July deadline. Not where we expected to see things play out for the defending champion Texas Rangers in 2024, but whatever. They won it all last year, so I'm generally more chill about the situation than I would be otherwise. I should probably do an episode about the guys on the Rangers who could get traded this month. Andrew Haney, as I've mentioned before, is someone I could see the Rangers dealing, even if they do just a soft sell, or even if they somehow climb back into the fringes of the race and convince themselves they should be buyers. But 8 of the 12 pitchers currently on the active roster are free agents at the end of the year, and in a market where there aren't expected to be many sellers and everyone wants pitching, the Rangers could do some brisk business at the deadline. But that's not for today. Today, I want to talk Nathan Eovaldi. The Rangers signed Eovaldi to a 2-year, $34 million deal after the 2022 season, and that's looking like one of the best free agent signings in team history. I will admit that at the time, I wasn't terribly enthused, thought it was fine at that price point. I will also admit that I was wrong for not being terribly enthused. Eovaldi has a player option for 2025. That best if he throws 83 more innings this season. That player option is for $20 million. And the chances of Eovaldi picking up that option if he is healthy enough to throw 83 more innings this year are about the same as the chances of Michael Young voluntarily having a clown at his birthday party. So we can effectively treat Eovaldi as being gone after 2024. The Rangers decide to make Eovaldi available in late July. There will be interest, to put it mildly. Eovaldi has been remarkably consistent in recent years, with ERAs between 3.45 and 3.87 each of the past 5 years. He solidified a reputation for being a big game pitcher with big-time playoff performances for a pair of World Championship teams, and a career 3.05 ERA in 79 playoff innings. He's also considered an elite clubhouse guy, one of the best teammates in the game, someone who makes the other pitchers on his team better. The one knock on him at this point is health. He's pitched more than 155 innings just twice in his career. He's been on the injured list both years he's been with Texas, and is always at risk of being sidelined. But total package, Eovaldi would be one of the best rental pitchers available at the deadline. He's available. I asked on Twitter whether an Eovaldi David Robertson package would fetch the Rangers more than they gave up for Montgomery and Chris Stratton last year, when they gave up a pair of fringe top 100 prospects for a quality rental starter and a good rental reliever. Really, though, one would think that an Eovaldi Robertson package would likely bring back more than that. Now we know that the Rangers aren't going to want to be sellers. This is a team, after all, built to win now. And if there is even a glimmer of hope in late July, I suspect that the front office and ownership will want to play things out with the group. There's also the optics involved in a big sell-off right now after winning the World Series. The PR buzzkill that comes from throwing in the towel, and yes, getting under the luxury tax this year to reset penalties, and adding prospects to a farm system that hasn't had a great 2024 has value. But there's the same old Rangers vibe to that I think the organization would like to avoid. So stand pat with Eovaldi, even if there's a single-digit playoff odds at the end of the month. Maybe, of course, you can't give Eovaldi a qualifying offer. He was tendered one by Boston after the 2022 season, which is why the Rangers lost the third-round pick, and players can only be tendered the qualifying offer once in their careers. So if you hold on to him, you're getting nothing from his other than innings for the final 2 months in a hopeless cause. And whatever mojo and mentorship he can provide to whatever young pitchers might be hanging around in the Rangers' dugout and clubhouse in August and September. What I'm wondering, though, is whether the Rangers wouldn't be inclined to talk extension with Eovaldi, say over the All-Star break. Gauge Eovaldi's interest in staying in Texas, see what he'd want to commit to another few years with the Rangers in lieu of going to free agency. What would an extension look like? Presumably at least 2 years guaranteed. I don't think that at age 34, Eovaldi would be willing to forego free agency in order to tack just 1 year on his deal, unless it's a really big number for 1 year. Maybe the second year is a player option. Maybe it's a 3-year deal with the third year vesting based on innings. Given his injury history, I don't think that Eovaldi gets more than 3 years guaranteed on the free agent market, even if he finishes the season healthy. He'll be entering his age 35 season, has had Tommy John surgery twice, and has had several trips to the injured list since Tommy John surgery number 2. He'll be in demand, but on short-term deals, and with the price impacted by the health history. I'm guessing the number would be around $35 million per year on an extension. Sonny Gray's deal, signed last season, coming off his age 33 season, would seem to be what Eovaldi's side would be using as their benchmark. Gray got 3 years, $75 million, with a $30 million fourth-year mutual option at $30 million with a $5 million buyout. Eovaldi is a little older than Gray, has a little more of an injury history, so he might not get quite that much, might not get quite that long, but I'm thinking it wouldn't be too far off. If the Rangers want to extend Eovaldi or sign him this offseason, which would also be theoretically a possibility, it would allow them to head into 2025 when they will be in win now mode, even if they lose 90 games in 2024. With a front four of DeGrom, Eovaldi, Mall, and Gray in the rotation. If they don't bring Eovaldi back, well, they'll still likely have to go and get a proved starter for the rotation anyways. Because they're not going with Dane Dunning and Cody Bradford and Jack Leiter and Emiliano Teote battling it out for the final 2 rotation spots of what they are anticipating will be a playoff contender. So yeah, just a thought. Maybe they start talking extension or have already reached out. Or maybe not. We shall see. Let us know in the comment section below. What do you think we should do with Eovaldi? And of course, if you like our content, give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down below, and leave your thoughts on the topics that we've covered in the comment section below. If you want to financially support this channel, please consider buying us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/TTRangers. Your support helps this channel grow, upgrade our equipment, bring in new hosts, be able to pay them, and hopefully one day take this show on the road. As always, thank you so much for watching and listening. We'll see you next time.